the research is coming out more and more on this, that overt grandiose narcissism covers for deeper insecurity and emotional struggles that they can't talk about. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Mad in Love, the podcast where we dive into the complexities of relationships, the path to healing, and a journey to personal growth. I'm your host, Dr. David Hawkins, and today Jonathan Glover, my colleague and friend, and Katie Buckley are back for another episode of Dr. Hawkins Reacts. All right. Hello, Jonathan. Do you have any clue as to what Katie is up to here? I don't know. I feel some trepidation.
No idea, but that's the fun of these, right? I mean, if we knew ahead of time, it wouldn't be much of a reaction.
Mostly fun. All right, let's, Katie, what do you have for us?
All right, so for today, we're going in a different direction. I have prepared notes and information on fictional characters that you may know from TV shows, movies, and whatnot. And you're going to just assess their personality based on the information that I give to see if maybe they have any signs of trauma, NPD traits, or maybe something else. This individual is a brilliant inventor. Some could call him a billionaire, playboy, philanthropist. He has unmatched intellect and technological prowess, and he has revolutionized the world of engineering and defense technology. Beneath his charismatic exterior lies a deeply flawed individual who's plagued with inner demons and profound sense of insecurity. This person has reckless behavior and a disregard for authority, leading to conflicts both on and off the battlefield. I am reminding you, this is a fictional character. This person's enemy may describe him as, again, reckless, egotistical, a penchant for self-indulgence. He is the symbol of unchecked privilege and arrogance, using his wealth and influence to further his own agenda without regard for consequences. They view him as a threat to their ambitions. And then his relationship partner might describe him again with the word charismatic, brilliant, self-absorbed, emotionally distant. They may feel frustrated by his tendency to prioritize work over their relationship and by his reluctance to open up about his vulnerabilities. Despite his flaws, they are drawn to his charm and intelligence, but struggle with his emotional unavailability.
I don't know who it is. Jonathan, you always know these. You know who it is?
Oh, yeah.
Well, wait a minute. Fictional.
I'll let you go first.
Fictional character. Well, billionaire, and this is, well. So I don't know who the character is. You got me on these, but this is our overt, grandiose narcissist. This is the stereotypical. My goodness, yeah. Just whoever this is, has got so much money, so much power, so much influence. He knows it, but with so many narcissists. And we know this. The research is coming out more and more on this, that overt grandiose narcissism covers for deeper insecurity and emotional struggles that they can't talk about. And so this is it's called compensation. So whoever this is, compensates, and they got a lot of resources to use in a compensatory manner. They got money, they got wealth, they've got power, they've got influence, they've got intellect. This person is anyway, reckless. So they feel this person feels entitled to just go through the world in whatever way he wants. And yeah, peeling off the layers, by the time they get to us, the great equalizer is, at some point in time when he's about 52 years old, I don't know if this man did, but recognizes that money and wealth and power, and it doesn't, that at some point in time, everybody faces the man, I know what the books say. They say that being in relationship, being cared about and caring about someone is what it's all about. But all right, there you have it. So this is the overt, grandiose narcissist, and they all do have some deep-seated issues, feelings of insecurity, and that they compensate for. All right, who are we talking about here? Give me a hint.
That's really good. And your comment about how as they get older, around 50, 52, start to kind of look back and realize that a lot of their life decisions and all of the money and everything is just sort of empty. And questioning, what is my life and what really does matter. The disregard for authority, and almost like I think he would say rules and laws are important, but he's definitely above the law. It does not apply to him. This is Tony Stark.
Yes, it is. He's a hero to some people.
Tony Stark, Iron Man.
Iron Man.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. All right.
I thought I'd throw in a superhero in there.
So, it'd be interesting to compare Bruce Wayne and Tony Stark side by side.
Right? I wanted to put him in there too, but I thought that might be too many superheroes.
I was going to name some real people, and I won't. But well, not clients, but real people that we all that we all know out there that are tech geniuses. We do get phone calls from people that have accomplished so very, very much, and yet their lives are a mess. They've accomplished so very much. They've amassed so much wealth. They've done all of it. They haven't taken any time to really look inwardly and see, how am I moving through the world? What are my relationships like? And do I dare go to a little bit of counseling and learn about myself and the impact that I'm having on me and my relationship? So that's the exciting thing for me. I work with so many 52-year-olds and 58-year-olds and 65-year-olds and 72-year-olds that have come to the end of themselves and are ready to look and say, how am I really doing?
It is really interesting when you think about Iron Man, Tony Stark, as being sort of the hero of these movies and comics, and the model for a lot of I think mostly male readers, at least of the comic books. I think the movies were not as male dominated in the audience, but it is interesting to just kind of think of like, a lot of these superheroes are really, really flawed, and there's not a lot of emphasis on the effects on their pepper pots, their spouses or their partners, which is interesting. I mean, it's all about there's little plot points where it's like, oh, they're sad, but I don't think it really emphasizes like how destructive and dysfunctional this type of personality actually is. It's great for the billionaire who can talk or buy himself out of everything, but for the other 99.9%,
it actually isn't great. It isn't great for even that billionaire, Jonathan. You and I don't know if people understand this, and I think there's some folks that are intrigued by our profession because we get to pull back the veil. We have idolized so many. I could throw out presidents and powerful people, and we like, oh man, if I could just be like that person. You and I know. We've pulled back the veil. We've seen what their lives really are like and we're like, and it ain't that, folks. But we all want heroes. We want them. We want, oh my goodness, that former president had it all. Didn't. That tech giant had it all. No, he didn't. She didn't. They didn't. No. So, yeah, pulling back the veil and being honest about what's really important. All right, what's next, Katie?
Yeah.
I think we have time
All
for one
right.
more, maybe.
Okay, well, let's go with this one. I'm not going to say the actual job because I think that's going to be too on the nose. But this person is renowned for his unmatched reasoning skills and a keen attention for detail. Razor sharp intellect and unorthodox methods help him resolve a lot of cases that are brought to him. His aloof exterior lies a troubled soul, grappling with inner demons and addictions. This person has a thirst for knowledge and penchant for solving things on the border of obsession, leading him down a dark path of drug addiction and emotional detachment. This person's enemies might regard him as insufferable, arrogant, meddlesome, a nuisance, and disrupts their criminal activities. And they
what?
see him as a
What?
well, it's this person's enemy, so they see him as a disruption to their criminal activities. They see him as a threat to their illicit activities, and let's see what else is in here that wouldn't mix them. They view him with a mixture of fear and disdain, knowing that he'll stop at nothing to uncover their secrets. The relationship partner might describe him as brilliant and loyal, but also aloof and detached. They feel frustrated by his single-minded focus on his work and his inability to fully engage emotionally in their relationship. While they appreciate his intellect and dedication, they yearn for more intimacy and connection beyond his pursuits.
Sherlock Holmes. I don't know. Who? Somebody drug
It is.
addicted. I don't know.
Yep, Sherlock Holmes. You got it, Dr. Hawkins.
Oh!
Well done.
Hey.
Nice work.
All right. So, yeah, someone smarter than me has said anytime there's a drug addiction, alcohol addiction, any kind of addiction, they're emotionally unavailable just from the very get-go. So that's why, I mean, Jonathan, you and I have had numerous conversations about this, that we as clinicians have to first, anybody who calls in and walks in the door, like, are you clear? Are you clear-minded? Because if you're an alcoholic, drug addict, sexual addict, food addict, if you're addicted, that's going to get in the way of us even doing other work. So, yeah, my goodness, anybody who, like Sherlock Holmes, addicted, single-minded, emotionally unavailable, can you even imagine? I mean, they can rigidly do some kind of work as he could, but what are they like to be in relationship with? Which again requires, there's a handout, and I'll stop with this, Jonathan. There's a handout that I give to most couples on levels of validation coming out of DBT work, which you're very familiar with. And, one of the stages of validation is being fully present. I'm here. I'm sitting with you, and we can have this conversation because I'm available. I'm present. I'm listening to you. I understand your past, your present. I can even anticipate your future and what you want. I'm available. I'm present. Man, if you can't bring that, like, I'm not really here, I'm not really present, I'm not really available, but I'd love to be in relationship with you. Oh, no, that's not going to be a very dynamic, loving, caring relationship. So, Jonathan, your thoughts about addictions, your thoughts about what I just said about the stages of validation, and
when I think, when I think of Sherlock Holmes, I think of certain, almost like an avoidant personality. Has difficult time connecting with people and doesn't really feel a lot of draw and that urge to connect with people. On the when addictions was mentioned, it made me think of Pia Melody's work on development, and where she says when there are some of the things that you described, thinking about Sherlock Holmes, he struggles with vulnerability, perfection. Basically, he cannot be imperfect. He cannot make a mistake. He struggles with dependence, relying on other people. Absolutely struggles with being spontaneous and open. And that is going to produce problems with boundaries, good versus bad type of concepts, dependency and moderation, which is addiction. So that all of those things, that's a lot of struggles there, and that's all developmental. So if Sherlock Holmes walked into my office, I would want to take a look at family of origin to say, where did you learn all this? What's going on? Let's unpack that.
Yeah. And hey, Sherlock, are you interested in growing? Are you interested in being a healthier human being and showing up in a better way? And to your point, Jonathan, I think it's interesting for any of us to think about, do we want to show up better? Do we want to be in relationship? I mean, a lot of people are in relationship, they're in a marriage, but I don't know that they've really taken the time to think about, do I want to be in this marriage? Do I want to enjoy and be enjoyed? Do I want to do this? Well, I'm married. I've been married for 25 years and I got to do it. No, you don't have to do it. So
Outside of the relationship, like romantic relationship, let's talk about Dr. Watson, having him as a colleague, someone that you work with a lot with that personality type. Would that be sustainable like it is in the stories to have that ongoing working relationship? Or would it fizzle out due to the lack of boundaries and arrogance?
it may not fizzle out, but the quality of the relationship would fizzle out. So sadly, and Jonathan, you think about this too, people adapt to one another. And I've said this in these podcasts before, Katie, that the word adapting, coping, accommodating, we think of them in positive terms. They can be very, very negative. So Dr. Watson undoubtedly adapted to Sherlock's dysfunction, and it can happen so gradually, the frog in the kettle. It can be, they just, and so many watching this podcast might say, oh yeah, I accommodated here. Oh yeah, I've pretzeled myself there. I've adapted there. Oh yeah, now I don't even, I didn't even, so many couples, when I go, I'm doing a couples session, perhaps maybe a marriage intensive, and I'll say, he just talked over to you. Did you know? I didn't even notice that. Oh no, I don't. No, I'm not going to share my heart with him. I tried that. No, I quit doing that 15 years ago. Anyway, adapting, coping, accommodating. So Dr. Watson may hang in there and may adapt, may accommodate, may cope, may pretzel, but it will take something from him and it'll take something from the relationship. Jonathan, what do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he in a lot of business relationships, the power differential is explicitly stated. I mean, you are my assistant. That and so in that way, that type of relationship could survive. But I think that he would do well if the relationship is going to survive. He would do well to have a lot of codependency type of traits. But let's be honest, Watson's a foil for Sherlock so that he can say all of his brilliant thoughts out loud.
It's true.
bringing it back to our population, to my point, that is, the partner would need to assess, how has this been for me? What price have I paid? And do I want to keep paying it? Or is it time to rock the boat, which we talk a lot about at the Marriage Recovery Center, intervention and rocking the boat and shaking things up and reevaluating. Is this really working the way I want it to work? Is it going the way I want it to go? Or do I want to speak up? Do I want to say, wait a minute? So,
Would you, just to clarify, would you say that Sherlock Holmes has NPD traits, or is it someone just being riddled with addiction?
yes and yes. I mean, so NPD traits, meaning self-absorbed, levels of arrogance, lacking empathy, lacking awareness in his relationships, patterns of powering over another, lots of patterns of powering over, and entitlement, all of the, like the check marks of entitlement, yeah, arrogance, yeah, powering over, yeah, patterns of dominance and even abuse, yeah, self-absorption, yeah. So anyway, and yeah, is it derived from one's character? Is it derived from one's addiction? We're unsure about all that, but pattern. Do you agree, Jonathan? Or
Yeah, I would say additionally, he's likely to be very dismissive of attachment. I don't think he sees the value of relationships other than the tangible benefit that the relationships might bring to him. So there's that layer as well.
all right, listeners, if any of this resonates with you, you can always start by visiting our website at www.marriage. What? Did I do something wrong here?
Well, it's just like we're resonating with different characters from the show.
If you resonate with Tony Stark,
edit. Listeners, if any of this conversation, I hope you don't identify with any of the characters, but you might actually, or the partners of the characters that we've talked about. Anyway, if any of our conversation today resonates with you, you can always start by visiting our website at www.marriagerecoverycenter.com to book a free 20-minute phone consultation with one of our trained client care specialists to learn how to get started on getting help. All right, if you've enjoyed this episode, please take a moment to leave us a 5-star review and subscribe to our channel to be notified of upcoming episodes. Until next time, this is Dr. David Hawkins signing off for Mad in Love.